Hello and welcome to Anyweb 2 from Magic Pro Ideas. Anyweb 2 is based on Anyweb, but now you can make it straight from the spectator's phone. There's no need to take the app on your phone because now everybody carries it instead of you. Let's take a look on how does the app works inside the setup. Once there, we will see the address in which we have to log in from the spectator's phone using any browser, that is aaw.im, and we also will have our PIN that we must remember to use it on the fake Google in the search bar. And there's also a forcing list that comes as default inside the app. We can reorganize this list, we can erase or edit any forcing, and we will be able to add any forcing that we want. Let's take a look at how to log in into aaw.im so that it gives us the fake Google in Anyweb 2. We take the spectator's phone and we log in from any browser to aaw.im. Once we are inside this fake Google, we must put our PIN. We will see that all turns blue. This means that we have logged perfectly. If it turns red, it means that we have not logged in and we must put it again and put it correctly. We will see after it all turns blue, we will also see 9 dots that will appear on the right, with the first dot painted in blue. This means that we have prepared the first forcing of the list to be used. If we only want to use the second forcing from the list, we must press Terms. There we will see that the dot changes to the second, and that means that we will be able to force the second item from the list. And so on, we will be able to select all the forcings from the list to get them ready to be forced. If we want to go back, we press Privacy and it goes back to the last forcing. And that's how we can set up Anyweb 2 in the spectator's phone to force the item that we want. Let's see in this example that we're going to force the first, that was Tom Hanks. So after putting our PIN, we will make the search, the one in which we want to make the forcing, in this case celebrities, and we will go to images. Once we are there, we will be able to make the forcing. We only need to activate the forcing pressing lightly once in the bottom secret zone in the center, and we will see how it indicates with a dot up and down that the forcing is ready. And by now we can give the phone to the spectator and ask him to make a scroll and make the forcing in the following way. The spectator will make the scroll, will touch anywhere on the screen, and the forcing will be made, in this case with Tom Hanks. Let's take a look at how to edit and reorganize the forcing list. Let's see how to add a forcing, edit it, erase it, and how to reorganize the list. Inside the setup, we will be able to select one forcing by pressing on it and taking it to the position that we want. Once there, we will release it and press Save. To edit the name of the forcing, we will only press the pencil and we will be able to change the name of our forcing. If we want to erase one forcing, we only have to press the trash can and it will be erased. If we want to add one new forcing, we only need to press the pencil on an empty space. And now in this place, we must enter a name and an URL that leads to an image. And that image, that URL, must end in .gpg or .png, so the app can detect that is an image. For this, we must go to Google, the real Google, and there, and we will search an image to force. In this case, we will force an image of Brad Pitt. So we search Brad Pitt, we will search an image of Brad Pitt, the one that we want to force. We will press on this image and hold, and then we will press copy. If this is made on an Android, we must press copy URL or copy image. Once it's done, we will go back to the Anyweb 2 setup. We will add a name of the forcing, and we will paste the link. We will hold press and paste the link. As the ending is JPG or PNG, the app will detect it and it will show us the image to force. We press save and it will be saved in the last place. If we want to place it on the first place, we must press and hold, and we take it to the first place so that it always will be our first forcing. We press save, and now we have our complete forcing list. Let's take a look now at how to perform the effects on the spectator's phone. Let's show an example of how to perform Anyweb 2 on a spectator's phone. For this, I'm gonna ask the spectator to give me his phone with an open browser. Let's get into Google from the spectator's phone. And we're going to make a search, in this case of celebrities. For this, I'm going to search celebrities, and we will go to images. And we will ask the spectator to make a scroll and touch any celebrity to find out which one does he select. So we will give back the phone to the spectator and we will ask to make a scroll and touch any celebrity. He can touch any to see which one he chooses. In this case, Leonardo DiCaprio. So now we can show the spectator that our prediction is no more than less that Leonardo DiCaprio. To be able to perform this effect, it is necessary to have saved the image that we want to force. So inside setup, we will say, for example, Leonardo DiCaprio. Here we have saved an image of Leonardo DiCaprio from Google. So if you don't know how to save an image, go back where we explain how to save an image inside the setup. Once we have the image saved, we need a prediction. In this case, we had a printed prediction, an image of Leonardo DiCaprio. Or if you want, you can also have his name written on a paper. Or you can make a mental guessing. So once we have this, we can ask the phone to the spectator with an open browser, and once we have it, what we're going to do is to tell him that we're going to get into Google, but we will be entering into aaw.im, our fake Google, and inside there quickly we will put our PIN on the search bar, and we will see that everything turns blue. So once we see this, we are sure that we are inside our fake Google, inside Anyweb 2. So from now on, we can show the spectator everything that we do. We're going to tell him that we're going to search for celebrities, to pick one at random. So we're going to write celebrities. And we will go to images. We will go to images. And at this point, we can give the spectator the phone back. But before that, it is important that you activate the forcing. So we have our secret zone. At the bottom is a bar that takes only 1 centimeter approximately, that we can see it because it is a little bit enlightening with a gray color, so that we can be sure where to press. So what we're going to do is to make a little press on this bar, and that will activate the forcing. And we will realize that it's activated because we were going to see a little dot in the upper right side and in the lower left side, and that indicates that the forcing is active, and that the next touch on the screen is going to show us the image to be forced. So now that the forcing is active, we can give the spectator the phone back and ask him to make the scroll and touch any place on the screen so that the image is forced. The spectator should do this without looking at the screen, so that he doesn't know where he's touching, and it can be simply done by looking to us in the eyes or just making the scroll without looking. So the spectator will make the scroll, touch, and the image that we have saved will be forced, and in this case, Leonardo DiCaprio. And we will show that we have our prediction that matches exactly with Leonardo DiCaprio. So by this way, we can make a forcing pre-saved with the spectator's phone without needing anything else. Just one prediction and the spectator's phone. One of the greatest advantages of Anyweb 2 is that allows us to make forcings in an impromptu way without needing to make any setup. This is going to be made really easy in the following way. Once we have the spectator's phone, we are going to log into aaw.im saying that we are entering Google. We will enter our PIN in the search bar, and once we see all painted in blue, we will make a search. In this case, we will search, for example, cities of the world or famous cities. So we will make a search of famous cities, and we will go to images. Inside images, we will make our forcing. For that, we will focus the image that we want to force. In this case, we will force the image of Paris or the Eiffel Tower. So we will make the following. We will press twice on the image, and we will see that a dot appears on the upper right side and another on the lower left side. And that means that the app is ready to make the forcing of that image. So now we can give the phone back to the spectator, ask him to make the scroll, and touch on any image, and that we mentally will guess the image that he has selected. The spectator will make the scroll, will touch, and the image of the Eiffel Tower or Paris will be forced. So now we can guess, or we can take out a prediction where it says Paris and show it. By this way, we will be able to force anything, any image that can be found in Google in an impromptu way, really easy. So we hope that you like it and that you will be able to use it. Let's talk about some tips so that you can be able to use Anyweb 2 in a better way. Anyweb 2 is thought to be made on the spectators' phones. But if you want to get confident, practice it before on your phone and then on the spectator's phone. Another tip is that you can deactivate the forcings when they are active. For this, if we have active one forcing, we can see the dot in the upper right zone and in the lower left zone, and we can deactivate the forcing by pressing twice in the secret lower zone. We press and we see the dots disappear. That means that the forcing is completely deactivated. Another tip that we want to give you is that when activating a forcing, not only you will see the visualization dots in the upper zone and the lower zone, but also the avatar will turn blue, the one that is placed in the upper right zone. Let's activate a forcing and let's see how the avatar turns blue. Other important tip is that once you have made the search, you can enter into any image, because this is a real search on Google, so you can show that you enter into an image, that you get into another one, and then activate the forcing and give the phone to the spectator to make the scroll and touch. If you have any doubt or request, please don't hesitate to communicate at support@magicproideas.com. We hope that you like Anyweb 2 and enjoy it. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.